Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. In this podcast, I'll be giving an update on the current NHL standings and playoff picture. In this podcast, I will give an update on the current NHL standings and playoff picture. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Florida Panthers with 87 points in 69 games. They have scored 222 goals for versus 184 goals against. Florida has a 22-10-2 record at home versus a 20-14-1 record on the road. The Panthers are 7-3-0 in the last 10 games. In second place in the Atlantic Division are the Toronto Maple Leafs with 87 points in 69 games. Toronto has 222 goals for versus 203 goals against. They are 22-13-1 at home versus 20-11-2 on the road. The Maple Leafs are 5-4-1 in the last 10 games. In third place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning with 85 points in 68 games. Tampa has 239 goals for versus 181 goals against. They have a 24-8-2 record at home versus a 16-15-3 record on the road. The Bolts are 6-3-1 in the last 10 games. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals with 100 points in 69 games. Washington has 251 goals for versus 178 goals against. They have a 23-7-6 record at home versus a 23-8-2 record on the road. The Caps are 8-2-0 in their last 10 games. In second place in the Metropolitan Division are the Carolina Hurricanes with 88 points in 68 games. Carolina has 220 goals for versus 179 goals against. They have a 27-7-1 record at home versus a 15-15-3 record on the road. The Hurricanes are 9-1-0 in the last 10 games. In third place in the Metropolitan Division are the New Jersey Devils with 80 points in 70 games. New Jersey has 209 goals for versus 183 goals against. They have a 17-12-4 record at home versus a 20-15-2 record on the road. The Devils are 5-5-0 in the last 10 games. The Ottawa Senators currently hold the first wildcard spot with 77 points in 68 games. They have 199 goals for versus 198 goals against. They have a 20-10-2 record at home versus a 16-17-3 record on the road. The Sens are 7-2-1 in the last 10 games. The Montreal Canadiens hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference with 74 points in 68 games. Montreal has 206 goals for versus 223 goals against. They have an 18-12-4 record at home versus a 15-15-4 record on the road. The Habs have a 6-1-3 record in the last 10 games. In ninth place in the Eastern Conference are the New York Islanders with 72 points in 68 games. They have 187 goals for versus 201 goals against. The Islanders are 17-13-3 at home versus 15-15-5 on the road. The Isles are 6-3-1 in the last 10 games. In 10th place in the Eastern Conference are the New York Rangers with 72 points in 66 games. The Rangers have 208 goals for versus 210 goals against. They have a 16-17-3 record at home versus a 17-14-3 record on the road. The Rangers are 3-5-2 in the last 10 games. In 11th place in the Eastern Conference are the Columbus Blue Jackets with 71 points in 68 games. Columbus has 218 goals for versus 224 goals against. They have a 29-5 record at home versus an 11-19-4 record on the road. The Blue Jackets are 3-6-1 in the last 10 games. In 12th place in the Eastern Conference are the Detroit Red Wings with 70 points in 68 games. Detroit has 195 goals for versus 215 goals against. Detroit has an 18-15-3 record at home versus a 14-15-3 record on the road. The Red Wings are 2-8-0 in the last 10 games. In 13th place in the Eastern Conference are the Boston Bruins with 69 points in 69 games. Boston has 186 goals for versus 221 goals against. They have a 19-12-6 record at home versus an 11-18-3 record on the road. The Bruins are 3-6-1 in the last 10 games. In 14th place in the Eastern Conference are the Pittsburgh Penguins with 66 points in 70 games. Pittsburgh has 204 goals for versus 254 goals against. They have a 17-14-5 record at home versus an 11-18-5 record on the road. The Penguins are 2-8-0 in the last 10 games. In 15th place in the Eastern Conference are the Philadelphia Flyers with 64 points in 70 games. Philly has 194 goals for versus 237 goals against. They have a 16-19-1 record at home versus a 12-15-7 record. The Flyers are 4-5-1 in the last 10 games. Last in the Eastern Conference are the Buffalo Sabres, who have 60 points in 66 games. Buffalo has 209 goals for versus 232 goals against. They have a 17-14-3 record at home versus a 10-19-3 record on the road. The Sabres are 3-6-1 in the last 10 games. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.com. Listen to my scouting blog podcast on podcasters.spotify.com/pod/show/hockeywiz777scouting. In first place in the Central Division are the Winnipeg Jets with 90 points in 69 games. Winnipeg has 239 goals for versus 162 goals against. They have a 25-5-4 record at home versus a 22-13-0 record on the road. The Jets are 5-4-1 in the last 10 games. In second place in the Central Division are the Dallas Stars with 90 points in 68 games. Winnipeg has 231 goals for versus 180 goals against. They have a 25-7-2 record at home versus an 18-14-2 record on the road. The Stars are 6-2-2 in the last 10 games. In third place in the Central Division are the Colorado Avalanche, who have 87 points in 70 games. Colorado has scored 234 goals for versus 200 goals against. They have a 23-10-2 record at home versus a 19-15-1 record on the road. The Avs are 8-1-1 in the last 10 games. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Vegas Golden Knights with 88 points in 68 games. Vegas has scored 227 goals for versus 185 goals against. They have a 25-7-3 record at home versus a 15-13-5 record on the road. The Golden Knights have a 6-2-2 record in the last 10 games. In second place in the Pacific Division are the Edmonton Oilers with 85 points in 69 games. Edmonton has 224 goals for versus 199 goals against. They have a 21-11-3 record at home versus a 19-13-2 record on the road. The Oilers are 6-3-1 in the last 10 games. In third place in the Pacific Division are the LA Kings with 81 points in 66 games. LA has 186 goals for versus 172 goals against. They have a 23-3-4 record at home versus a 13-18-5 record on the road. The Kings are 5-4-1 in the last 10 games. The Minnesota Wild hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference with 83 points in 69 games. Minnesota has 191 goals for versus 195 goals against. They have a 17-15-2 record at home versus a 22-10-3 record on the road. The Wild have a 5-4-1 record in the last 10 games. The St. Louis Blues hold the second wildcard spot with 77 points in 70 games. St. Louis has 210 goals for versus 206 goals against. The Blues have a 17-14-3 record at home versus an 18-14-4 record on the road. They are 7-2-1 in the last 10 games. In ninth place in the Western Conference are the Vancouver Canucks with 76 points in 69 games. Vancouver has 194 goals for versus 209 goals against. They have a 15-13-7 record at home versus a 17-12-5 record on the road. The Canucks are 5-4-1 in the last 10 games. In 10th place in the Western Conference are the Calgary Flames with 75 points in 68 games. Calgary has 178 goals for versus 200 goals against. They have an 18-11-5 record at home versus a 14-14-6 record on the road. The Flames have a 4-3-3 record in the last 10 games. In 11th place in the Western Conference are the Utah Hockey Club, who have 73 points in 69 games. Utah has 191 goals for versus 205 goals against. They have a 14-13-7 record at home versus a 17-14-4 record on the road. In the last 10 games, they are 5-3-2. In 12th place in the Western Conference are the Anaheim Ducks with 68 points in 69 games. They have a 16-15-2 record at home versus a 14-16-6 record on the road. The Ducks are 4-5-1 in the last 10 games. In 13th place in the Western Conference are the Seattle Kraken with 65 points in 70 games. Seattle has 209 goals for versus 229 goals against. They have a 16-15-5 record at home versus a 14-20-0 record on the road. The Kraken are 5-4-1 in the last 10 games. There are 3 teams out of the playoff race. Those are the Nashville Predators, Chicago Blackhawks, and San Jose Sharks. The Nashville Predators have 58 points in 68 games, Chicago Blackhawks with 49 points in 69 games, and San Jose Sharks with 45 points in 68 games. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at hockeywiz777. Eastern Conference playoff picture. The Florida Panthers, Toronto Maple Leafs, and Tampa Bay Lightning currently hold the top 3 seeds in the Atlantic Division, with the Ottawa Senators currently 6 points behind Tampa for the 3rd seed in the Atlantic. The Washington Capitals, Carolina Hurricanes, and New Jersey Devils hold the top 3 seeds in the Metro Division, with the New York Islanders and New York Rangers sitting 8 points behind New Jersey for the 3rd seed in the Metro. 7 of the playoff spots are pretty much set. It's just a matter of seeding. The Montreal Canadiens currently hold the 2nd wildcard spot with 74 points, and there are 7 teams behind them fighting for that spot, including the New York Rangers, New York Islanders, Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings, Boston Bruins, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Philadelphia Flyers. The 2 New York teams are the biggest threat to the Canadiens, as they have the talent and experience to make a run down the stretch, and they have the same amount of points as each other. Western Conference playoff picture. The Winnipeg Jets, Dallas Stars, and Colorado Avalanche currently hold the top 3 seeds in the Central Division, with the Minnesota Wild just 4 points behind Colorado for the 3rd seed in the Central. The Vegas Golden Knights, Edmonton Oilers, and LA Kings currently hold the top 3 seeds in the Pacific, with the Vancouver Canucks 5 points behind LA and the Calgary Flames 6 points behind LA for the 3rd seed in the Pacific. 7 of the playoff spots are pretty much set. It's just a matter of seeding. St. Louis Blues have jumped up in the standings after a hot streak and currently hold the 2nd wildcard spot with 77 points. And there are 3 teams in the race behind them, including the Vancouver Canucks, Calgary Flames, and Utah Hockey Club. Both Vancouver and Calgary pose a serious threat to St. Louis for the 2nd wildcard spot, with them just 1 and 2 points behind them respectively. Listen to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast on Podbean and Spotify. As the season winds down, the playoff picture is starting to clear up, and it will be very interesting to see which of these teams in the playoff race grabs the final wildcard spot. In my next podcast, I'll be giving a standings update and talking about the league's leading scorers.